In this video, we're going to ask the question, do open office spaces work? The reason we're going to cover this topic is because there's so many misconceptions about whether or not they work. And I want you to know that they do, and I want you to know how. So as a part of the open office space concept, I'm going to share with you what key ingredients make it perfect for teaming. What things can really tear down a team that open office spaces actually fix. And how you can make an open office space ideal for introverts and extroverts. And really, what will you gain if you try it out and actually, have some open office spaces in your office or even switch to an open office space. By the time you're done with this video, you will see open office spaces as a crucial tool to building teams, not as just another nice thing or not just as a temporary trend. So let's just right out of the gate, let's just talk about why people don't like open office spaces. Well, I think, and forgive me, but I think people that really like to get good production work done, they like to focus, they don't like the noise, they don't like the distraction, and I'll say people with some introverted tendencies probably don't like the noise and the chaos of an open office environment. And I think that's fair. I think that's real. But that concept doesn't negate how awesome open office spaces are. And so the other thing is we can just go ahead and modify the environment to accommodate the different types of people. Those who are looking for good production work and those who are looking for that really good teaming. So let's go through a couple of concepts right now. Open office spaces really are intended to increase connection, collaboration, and communication. There's some really good books that I love. One is called The Proximity Principle. The other one is called The Culture Code. And it talks about how proximity and culture, meaning the actions and beliefs of a social group, really enhance the abilities of a team. And so open office spaces do just that. So that's why they're so fantastic. You have people in a common area with proximity working as a team in a common culture. And so with that, you can really increase the ability of the team and the production of the team by leveraging that proximity and that communication and that collaboration. So I once heard, let me just tell you a quick story. I once heard of, and I think this was actually on LinkedIn, there was a guy that did a post, and his post was, I hope we can finally put the nail in the coffin for open office spaces. And he cited a study, and he said, studies show that the amount of emails, texts, and interactions and meeting durations increase in open office environments. So he's like, yeah, open office environments don't work. They don't save time. I hope this puts the nail in the coffin for open office spaces. And I thought about that. And yes, I was defensive because I'm an extrovert. I love these environments. Yes, I was already biased in my opinion, but I thought about it and I'm like, wait a minute. What is the purpose of an open office space, right? Proximity, connection, collaboration, communication. So that study literally just proved the point. Emails, text, meetings, communication between the team, visuals, products of communication, deliverables, things that people could visually see went up. So it did its job. It actually worked. People communicated more. So what is the purpose of an open office space? Is it, hey, we're going to do an open office space so that individuals can silo and get more production? No, that's not the purpose. The purpose is the entire team is able to work together and increase the throughput of communication, increase the throughput of collaboration, increase the throughput of those team products, meaning the deliverables that the team has together. So if you are, and I'm not bad-mouthing anybody, I love all these positions, but if you're an architect or an engineer, you may be called into a big room to help with the environment. Most of your work may be production work. Like I'm doing calcs, I'm doing structural calculations, and I want to focus by myself. So you may not see the benefit of the open office environment, but when you come in and work as a team, those deliverables need to make it to the field as fast as they can. Here's the grand secret, everybody, and you're going to love this, so I hope you're sitting down. The purpose is not to optimize the office or the individual. The purpose is to optimize flow and information to the workers. So the question is, do open offices do that or do they not? And my answer is they do. Usually in an open office space, you'll have conference rooms, usually some common areas like some food prep, kitchen areas, obviously the bathrooms, break areas, but then you'll have these pods and you can organize them as scrum teams or clusters where different functional groups work together in an open environment collaboratively and visually, I might add, so that they can really increase their their production and get that product out to the field to the people who need it most. So these conference rooms are key. The other thing that I would absolutely recommend is you need to have production pods or breakout conference rooms. So not just the big ones, but if you have people that just need to jam out and get something done, if you have somebody who's a little bit introverted and needs a break, if you have those environments where you need some one-on-one time, yes, you can put in your headphones, yes, you can put in your AirPods, but sometimes you just need what I call a production pod, a little one-person office space, or you can even do the little cubicles, the boxes, or maybe a little bit bigger conference room that fits 4 or 5 people so they can go do that production work when they need to. So the hows of how to build an open office space, obviously have the right trail environment, make it beautiful, have your space for your pods, your visual communication, your conference rooms, your common areas, but also make sure that you have those production areas when it's needed. And I do want to say, we want to get this information out. And we're pretty close. We've only got about 10 million more people in the next couple of years to get this information out to. So please comment, and please subscribe to these videos. If you're finding value in any of this, if you're like, hey, Jay Money's doing me a good job right now, subscribe. We want to get you some more. Okay, back to the content. So we've talked about open office spaces. Let me just make a couple more really key points. Open office spaces really do collaboration and communication well. So if you have a large project, an IPD project, integrated project delivery, or a really nice design build project, or you have to muster a team or gather a team to really do something in an integrated way, and you got to work as a team, open office environments are crucial. Let me tell you this one secret. Doors and walls are some of the most destructive things when it comes to trust. Are doors and walls evil? No. Do you sometimes need doors and walls? Yes. Does the HR department or the CFO or the financial accounting team need doors and walls? Yeah, absolutely. They have to do confidential things in there. Do we need doors and walls for conference rooms? Yes. Do we need them on the bathrooms? Darn right. But do we need to build doors and walls between human beings that need to be collaborating all day? Probably not. Just know that closed doors and walls break down trust because people don't know what's going on. There's less communication, and usually if they don't know what's going on, the demons in their own mind will fill in the blanks. So you get what I'm saying? The other thing is, to finish projects, we don't want people working in siloed environments, possibly duplicating work, not coordinated, and not working together as a team. So just be careful with your doors and your walls, and know that there's nothing that breaks down trust like doors and walls. And so like I promised, there's usually 3 ways that you can really increase productivity in the open office environment. Number 1, set up ground rules, set up a culture, meaning it can't be too noisy and it can't be a free-for-all. Make sure that you really intentionally shape that culture in that open office space so that everybody has weighed into the culture and they bought in and they can help hold each other accountable. Number 2, be mindful of your brilliant introverted people. Introverts aren't slower because they're stupid. Introverts are slower with some things or need quiet spaces for some things because they're more thoughtful. They're highly intelligent and they're thinking A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They're looking at all of the options for a particular topic. Me as an extrovert, I'll be like, give me some A, give me some Z, give me some Y. Here's my opinion. An introvert will go all through the alphabet of ideas and give you a really good solid opinion. And so you got to give people places to go do production work, to sit down and think quietly, and to take some time. So you must have production pods in your open office environment. The last tip that I'm going to give you is when you have those pods, those cluster groups or those scrum groups, make sure that there's a clearly defined goal so that those teams are working and communicating for the purpose of accomplishing the goal. You should be able to walk through any portion of that open office space and know exactly what everybody's working on and when their deadline is. Otherwise, again, it just becomes a free-for-all and some kind of social party. So we can't do that. So remember those 3 things. Ultimately, an open office space really does 2 things really, really well. Number 1, build trust because of the transparency, the proximity, and the connection. And number 2, it increases collaboration and communication. So if you're in an environment with a team where you need trust and communication, please consider open office environments. If you do this, I promise you, you'll see an increase in your teaming. I promise you, you will see team products or deliverables expedited throughout their life cycle. And I promise you, your organization will have additional health as you're in those open office environments that really build the team. And so I'm going to link down in the description below a video showing one of the open office spaces that I used as a project superintendent. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and you're going to get a visual of what these look like. So I've enjoyed this video. Again, please like, comment, or subscribe. We're family, remember, right here. So stay with us, and we'll see you on the next one. On we go.